Hi folks, this is Sario for CWinner. Happy to see you in another video on Trigger Point. Now, in this in this video or in the subsequent 2 or 3 videos, I'm going to take the science of Trigger Point in 3 or 4 parts because there is so much of things to get into it. So the first in this week, mostly I'm going to deal with the definition part of it and what are the problems with that definition, right? So I don't want to make mistakes, so I am going to read the definition, right? The definition is trigger point is a hyper irritable spot which can be palpable, right? There is a nodule on that. It is the nodule can be sort of in the is part of the muscle as well as the fascia. Some people have also put the fascia into reference, and if you press that region, right? If you press that region, you get a painful stimulus, right? That's why they call it as a trigger point, right? There are some variations in this, but this is the basic idea of all the definitions, right? They think that there is a tight band, there is a hyper excitable place where you press, it is painful, there is a nodule and things like that. uh, this is a definition which most people use, and why the definition is valuable or very important, right? Because if I say one thing, you say one thing, it should be the same. Say, for example, if I say that 5 and you say 5, I know what you mean by 5, right? If I say gravity and if you say gravity, I know what you mean by gravity and what I mean by gravity. So for this communication, you need that definition to be robust. It needs to be in such a way that it cannot be changed, right? So that we all know what we are talking about. Now, in this definition, there is a huge problem according to me. One of the huge problem is how much of force if you give on that place, the point is hyper irritable, right? Now, if you go and press anybody like this, right? If you press anybody like this or here, right? If you press them, you will invariably see that it's painful, right? Everybody will do that, right? So, is that trigger point, right? Is that particular place where you press and going like that, is that trigger point? We don't know. Why we don't know? Because they have not told us how much of pressure I have to give, right? So it's a difficult thing to quantify, I understand, but they have not said that. So there are going to be some problems for that. So if, for example, if I have learned trigger point today and go and palpate somebody and I see trigger point left and right, right? Is that really the trigger point? Some people might say that no, they are a novice, so they don't know how to palpate it correctly, right? You will always surprise the people who wrote the book, the Travel and Simmons and all these people. They couldn't come to the same conclusion where the trigger point is, right? Nobody reads about that and they keep on saying that it is a reliable measure, right? What I mean by they couldn't find out is they couldn't come to the conclusion it is the same spot. One person is saying it is here, the other person is saying here, right? So they are not able to come to the same place. One of the reasons is the definition is poor, right? How much of pressure you have to give. The other reason is there is nothing underneath, so that's another problem. But we will see those things later on. So if you don't know how much of pressure you are going to give, so you are going to miss out, right? Right. So you might say that that's all right. In clinical practice, it might not be a problem, right? It is because I have seen people say that he has 5 trigger point in the trapezius and they are doing this and doing this for such a long time. And also, there's another problem, right? Whenever they do research, right, they are trying to find out with the ultrasound what is underneath it, or they are trying to take some fluid out of it to see what is the chemical composition of it. If you don't know where the trigger point is, pray tell me, how did you, what are you seeing, or where are you taking the blood or whatever you are taking there, right? The chemical substance underneath it. How are you taking that, right? So this is the first problem in trigger point. The definition is poor. We don't know how much of pressure we have to give, and also because of that, one of the consequence of that is poor reliability. Nobody can find it. If you say this, a lot of people will start shouting, no, 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 no. If you are an expert, uh, you can find out. And if I go and find two experts and tell them that, okay, find out, they don't find out, and then they will say, no, 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 they are not an expert. So they will keep on shifting the goalpost, what is called as a no true Scotsman fallacy, right? That's the common fallacy they will use for this argument. Right? So, in this video, I have given my opinion on the problems in trigger point. If you don't agree with me, if you have counterpoints to my arguments, please comment on the video. We will have an open discussion. Thank you so much for seeing our video until the end of 6.28 minutes, right? If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.